Hi guys. How are you? Hope you all fine and good. Welcome to Watch and Tell. The Army serves as a critical component of the military forces of many nations worldwide, comprising almost solely of land forces. Here's a list of 10 biggest armies in the world. Watch and Tell ranks the world's top 10 biggest armies, based on the troop size. Watch the full video and don't dare to skip. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. Islamic Republic of Iran Army Ground Forces. The Islamic Republic of Iranian Army, IRIA, was established in 1925. The Iranian Army Ground Forces are currently estimated to field 350,000 active commandos. The Iranian Army relied on U.S. weapons until the Islamic Revolution in 1979. Iran manufactured a range of weapons and combat systems since 1979. The current inventory constitutes tanks such as the locally produced Dufakar, armored personnel carriers and motorized and towed artillery pieces. Turkish Army. The Turkish Army, also known as the Turkish Land Forces, is organized into the Western Army, Eastern Army, Third Army and Aegean Army. The land forces of Turkey reportedly employs 350,000 soldiers. The Turkish armed forces saw a massive modernization after joining the NATO in 1952. Altay tank, T-Loramids air defense missile system, T-70 utility helicopter and T-129 attack helicopter are some of the modern combat platforms being inducted into the Turkish military. Egyptian Army. The Egyptian Army is the largest service within the Egyptian Armed Forces, with 350,000 troops excluding reserved forces. It formed the second biggest contingent of Allied troops, which were deployed in Operation Desert Storm. The Egyptian Army is largely equipped with U.S.-made weapons and holds an inventory of Soviet-era arms and Chinese weapons, as well as indigenous combat systems. Egypt receives $1.6 billion in military aid from the U.S. each year, making it the second largest recipient of military aid after Israel. Ground Forces of the Russian Federation. The Ground Forces of the Russian Federation, also known as the Russian Army, is the major component of the Russian Armed Forces. The Russian Army was established in May 1992 after the dissolution of the Soviet Union. The ground forces controlled by the Ministry of Defense. The ground forces withdrew a large number of troops aboard the former Soviet garrisons and also simplified the command and control structures. The ground forces of the Russian Federation currently deploys 350,000 to 400,000 troops. Republic of Korea Army. The South Korean Army was formed in 1948 after Korea divided into two nations. The Republic of Korea Army is the ground-based force of the South Korean Armed Forces. With a strength of 464,000 troops, the ROK Army is the largest of three divisions. The Army has been going through rapid modernization, resulting in the induction of a range of advanced weapons and military technologies. The inventory of land forces is believed to comprise 2,300 tanks, 2,700 armored vehicles, as well as more than 5,800 artillery pieces and multiple rocket. Pakistan Army. The Pakistan Army was formed in 1947 after independence from the British Empire. The Army currently employs approximately 560,000 active forces, making it one of the world's biggest armed forces. The Pakistan Army engaged in three major wars against India. Most of the weapons used by the armed forces are of Chinese, European or American origin. The inventory mainly comprises small arms, armored vehicles, artillery, helicopters and air defense systems. Korean People's Army Ground Force. The Korean People's Army Ground Force is the major army of North Korea's. Established in August 1947. The Korean force is estimated to have a current strength of 950,000 troops. The North Korean ground force holds the arsenal of 4,300 tanks, 2,500 armored vehicles, 8,600 field artillery systems and 5,500 multiple rocket launchers, according to latest estimates. Most of the artillery and missile systems are positioned close to the demilitarized zone dividing North and South Korea. U.S. Army. The U.S. Army is one of the three military departments, Army, Navy and Air Force, working under the Department of Defense. It is mainly composed of active and reserve components. The U.S. Army employs more than 1 million active duty, reserve and National Guard members. The nation spent $649 billion on defense in 2018. The U.S. Army utilizes modern weaponry including tanks, armored fighting vehicles, self-propelled and towed artillery, as well as missiles and rocket launching systems. Indian Army. Constituting 1.2 million troops, the Indian Army is commanded by the Chief of Army Staff. It employs a regimental system divided into mountain, infantry, and armored and mechanized divisions. The Indian Army is equipped with T-72 and Arjun tanks, BMP series infantry fighting vehicles, anti-tank guided missiles, Apache helicopters, fast reconnaissance vehicles, modern individual weapons, self-propelled artillery and air defense missiles. People's Liberation Army Ground Force, China. The People's Liberation Army Ground Force of China is the world's biggest army, with an estimated 1.6 million troops. Established in August 1927. The Ground Force of China is one of the major military divisions of the People's Liberation Army. The PLA operates under the command of the Central Military Commission. The active ground forces of the Army are deployed across 7 military regions in the country. China is also the second largest military spender in the world after the U.S. The official defense spending of the country reached $250 billion in 2018. Hope you like the video. Bye guys. Now I need a permission to go. See you in the next video. Take care of yourself. To stay up to date with the latest and cool videos by Watch and Tell Corporation, make sure to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. And here is a warning for you: like the video and leave a comment for read.